Hi, this is Steve Merril, wagertalk.com, right back here on Wager Talk TV with your college football top 25 video for this Saturday, week 2, September 10th. Going to give you the three biggest top 25 head-to-head matchups this week. I'm going to give you my power ratings so you know where the line value is, and also give you my matchup analysis for the three biggest top 25 matchups. There's only 3 games this week, and where 2 top 25 opponents are playing. I'm going to look at all 3 free right here on Wager Talk TV. Hey, a quick reminder, we just hit 100,000 subscribers this week here on Wager Talk TV. Special thank you to everybody that has supported this channel the past few years to help us grow. We also hit 29 million views this past week as well. Back-to-back days, hit 29 million views and then 100,000 subscribers the next day on Wednesday and Thursday. Special thank you again. And once again, if you haven't hit subscribe, it's not too late. We're trying to grow it up to 200,000, then 300,000. Hit subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment below, too. Let me know who you like this Saturday in college football. By the way, great start to college football. Last week, I went 4-1, 80% on my best bets at wagertalk.com. Could very well have been 5-0. We actually had a half-point loss. So 4-1, they only lost by half a point. And we had some blowout wins last Saturday as part of a 3-0 sweep. In fact, the 3 best bets last week won by combined 132 points combined. We'll look to do it again this week on Saturday. Get my 3 strongest plays at wagertalk.com, and you can save big when you do so. Now, look, if you want to start off small with an individual 1-day, 3-day package, that's fine. But we also have 7-day, full month, and season subscriptions, and you will never save more than this weekend because you get 25% off any purchase with promo code STEVE25. STEVE25. Steve25 gets you a 25% discount instantly on any regular priced item on my page at wagertalk.com. Look, if you want to start small and try a weekend package, a 3-day or a 7-day, that's fine. But if you're ready to take a serious investment approach, if you want to be part of that 4-1, 80% college football start, for example, then don't wait because you're saving 25% on any direct subscription as well, including full season packages. Check it out, Steve25, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. All right, let's look at the 3 biggest games this week, and there are 3 top 25 matchups in college football. Going to go down in start time order, and we do start at 3:30 Eastern. The one daytime game on Saturday afternoon is number 24 ranked Tennessee at number 17 ranked Pittsburgh. That's at 3:30 Eastern on ABC. You know, it's interesting. I mentioned I'm a 4-1 start to college football, 3-0 sweep on Saturday. The 2 weeknight games I had last week were both of these teams, Tennessee and Pittsburgh. So you see where that half-point loss came, and that was with the Pitt Panthers. And look, they were maybe even fortunate to win this game, so I can't complain too much about that. It was 7, went to 7.5. I could have gotten a push, but really kind of fortunate for it to even land on 7. And, of course, the big question is how would Pittsburgh be with the new quarterback? Kenny Pickett went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, first-round pick. I thought he was the best quarterback coming out of college football for the draft this year, and you would think there'd be a drop-off, but Pittsburgh actually threw the ball extremely well last week at home. Even though they barely won that game against West Virginia as a touchdown favorite, they still did put up 38 points, averaged over 6 yards per play. But what impressed me was the passing attack. A really solid performance by Pittsburgh last week, 16 for 24 with the transfer quarterback, over 300 yards passing, worked out to almost 13 yards per pass for the Pitt Panthers. So it doesn't look like there's going to be much drop-off, and you got to figure this is going to be a high-scoring game. This total is in the mid-60s. Not a surprise there, as these are 2 potent offenses. As I mentioned, also had a best bet on Tennessee last week on that Thursday evening game. Both these teams, by the way, played Thursday. They both have a little bit of extra rest. Tennessee 59-10 win over Ball State. That line had gone from 28 up to 35.5. My power ratings made the line in the 40s, so I was not afraid to lay the number. These are 2 teams I think could both be a little bit underrated this season, and that's obviously why I used both of them last week. However, there's not a lot of line value in this game this week. Let's look at my power ratings, 6.7. So we'll say 6.5, 6.7 is where my power ratings come out on this game. Tennessee, of course, the road favorite. Opened as low as 4.5. So that line was low when it opened. It's now been sitting 6, 6.5 all week. I saw a straggler 7 out there earlier this week, but mostly 6, 6.5s, right in line with my power rating. So it's 6 or less. A little bit of line value with Tennessee on the road. But once again, I think Pittsburgh's going to be a little bit better than people expect. I think another reason we've seen this line rise is that Pitt didn't look great last week in that somewhat fortunate win against West Virginia. Keep in mind, this is also a revenge game for Tennessee. Last year, Tennessee beat another MAC team 38-6, Bowling Green in the opener. They beat Ball State this year 59-10. And then they lost at home to Pittsburgh as a 4-point home dog 41-34. So this is a pretty big line reversal. Tennessee's gone from being a home dog to nearly a touchdown road favorite. We'll see if it's warranted on Saturday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern on ABC. Let's look at one of the two night games that are top 25 matchups this Saturday evening, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Number 20, Kentucky at number 12, Florida, SEC battle. And we talked about this Florida Gator team last week right here on this video when they were a home dog, a rare SEC non-conference home dog against Utah. And the Utes were a team a lot of people had talked about being one of those sleeper teams for the four-team college football playoff this year. Obviously, it's going to be a big hill for Utah to climb now after losing on the road at Florida. And keep in mind, the Gators did briefly open as a 1-point favorite this summer in that game. They closed as about a 2.5, even some threes out there last week at home against Utah. They pulled the outright upset. So on the surface, you can make a case that this could be a little bit of a flat spot for Florida. However, I'm not going to factor too much of that into the handicap for a couple reasons. First of all, this is a conference game against Kentucky. So obviously they should be focused for an SEC game, and they remain home. They don't have to travel to or from. So I think the fact that they beat Utah as a home dog last week makes the letdown now facing a conference opponent a little less likely. But still, you do worry about a little bit of a flat spot here because Kentucky really was not pressed last week. Only a 15-point favorite against Miami of Ohio. They won fairly easily by 24, 37-13. Did not rush the ball well at all, though. 26 attempts, only 50 yards, and that's a concern in this game. Threw the ball 32 times for 300 yards. But we're going to have to see that running attack get better, and it might get better because one thing Utah did was expose Florida's rush defense. I don't know if it's maybe because Utah's running attack's really good, which I think it is, by the way, or maybe Florida's got a little bit of a question mark on defense. It's probably a little bit of both, and I say that because the Gators gave up 230 rushing yards on 39 carries. That worked out to almost 6 yards per rush attempt they allowed last week. So we're going to find out fast if this Kentucky rushing attack that averaged only 50 yards and 1.9 yards per carry against a MAC team last week has gotten any better. But that is a matchup concern here in this one, at least from the Kentucky perspective. Let's look at the power ratings. My power ratings in this game make the line 6. So once again, I don't think there's a ton of line value in this one. Florida opened briefly as a 5.5-point favorite. It's now pretty much 6 across the board. So to be honest, there's no line value in this one unless it drops back down to that 5.5. So I think the power ratings have this point spread spot on with Florida being a 6-point favorite. A little bit of a potential flat spot for the Gators, but once again, that lack of Kentucky rushing concerns me. But then again, Florida didn't stop the run last week. We'll see how this game plays out at 7 Eastern on Saturday night. As far as the total quickly, and by the way, I love the comments. We had some people last week say, hey, let's talk more about the totals. I will do that whenever I see some value. This one is open 51.5. It's been sitting there all week, maybe a straggler 52 out there. Keep in mind that 51 is a very key number with totals. There's about a 3 to 4% chance that this game lands on exactly 51 points. 52, 53 are what I call dead numbers. So if you like the over, I would definitely wait. Try to get it back down to 51. I think the South Point in Vegas had it. A couple international books had a 51. So if you like the over, wait and find a 51. If you like the under, grab 51.5, as I have seen it hit 51 in some locations, a critical number there on the total. One more top 25 game for Saturday night. It's the late night game on ESPN between Baylor and BYU. We'll get to that in one moment. Quick reminder, though, if you missed the 3-0 sweep, covering winning by over 130 points the 3 games last week, we had 3 big steamroller blowouts. 4-1, 80% start overall in college football this season. If you missed last weekend, shame on you, but it's not too late to jump on board. Not only do we have week 2 here, but we have the first full NFL Sunday. The 103rd NFL season started Thursday night with the Bills smacking the Rams. And we got a ton of best bets for both Sunday and Monday night NFL action, Saturday college football, and don't forget MLB on a daily basis as well. MLB has been fantastic, up almost 20 games the past couple months. So once again, football and baseball, it's a great time to get an all-access package, and there's never been a better time to do it with a 25% discount on any item right now on my page for this weekend, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. You must have promo code STEVE25. Steve25 gets you a 25% discount on any regular price item, whether it's a short-term or long-term package. Use Steve25 and save big this weekend. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. All right, let's look at that final top 25 matchup, and it goes on Saturday night, late night game at 10:15 Eastern. And this is an interesting matchup on ESPN at 10:15 Eastern between number 9 Baylor and number 21 BYU. Brigham Young, 2 future Big 12 conference mates, whatever you want to call them. And Baylor, of course, won the conference last year. BYU will be joining the Big 12. And this is a big game for BYU. First of all, it's a revenge spot. They were smacked around pretty good last year early in the season by Baylor. Now, Baylor went on to be better than a lot of people expected. Did not surprise me, as I was pretty high on the Baylor Bears coming into the year. But this is a game that BYU will remember from last season, because Baylor, about midseason, actually, I said early in the season they played Utah and actually pulled that upset last year, if you remember, as a 7-point dog, and they got off to the 5-0 start. But then they lost to Boise at home in Game 6, and then they lost again to Baylor in Game 7 on the road, and that was a 38-24 loss. It's only a 5-point dog, and it was a physical beatdown. A lot of the BYU staff and players said that Baylor really took it to them. So it'll be interesting to see if they can step up their game this week. Power ratings definitely show line value for BYU, and the reason I say that is because my power ratings favor BYU by almost 9 points, 8.8 points in this game. So we'll say 9. BYU -9 is what I make the line, my power ratings. However, they are without some players that will be sitting out this game, and that's what's going to probably keep it off my card. I would still lean towards them with the line value, and that's because currently, as of Friday night, BYU is only a 2.5-point home favorite. So there's definitely line value, almost a free teaser, to be honest. 6 points of line value, 6.5. As I make this line 9, it's currently just 2.5. My concern, though, is that BYU looks like they're going to be a little bit shorthanded in this game. But I still think there's value even with this shorthanded team, because the line value, of course, and also the matchup here. BYU looked really good last week against South Florida, 50 points on the road, 300 rushing yards, 261 passing yards, a really good offensive performance. Obviously, Baylor played Albany. We can't read much into that game. Albany, for my CAA conference, a mediocre team, normally 69-10 win, is a 42.6 touchdown favorite. So Baylor wasn't really tested at home. Now they take to the road, and don't forget about the altitude. I was impressed that BYU went to Tampa last week. South Florida played in the heat and played well. Now they've got the home field advantage, which is substantial because of the thin air and altitude, which they're used to. Baylor is not used to, especially early in the season. So BYU already played an FBS opponent. Baylor did not. Tough scheduling spot. So I like BYU in this game. Would have liked it more if they'd had everyone playing. But at -2.5, there's still some good value, because all healthy, this line would have been 9 with my power ratings. I think the BYU Cougars get their revenge at 10:15 Eastern on Saturday night. And by the way, this is a young Baylor team, sophomore quarterback, running back, receivers, good defensive line for Baylor, young secondary positions. So I think BYU might not run the ball as well this week, but they're going to have some passing success in this game on Saturday night. All right, those are the 3 games this Saturday, September 10th, in which we have head-to-head top 25 matchups. Hope you found this information useful. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know who you like this Saturday in college football. And I forgot to mention at the top of the video, how did I forget? Don't forget to tune in on Saturday afternoon for my NFL Fade the Public video for Sunday Pro Football. The first edition, Week 1, NFL Fade the Public, right here on Wager Talk TV. And once again, if you haven't hit subscribe, it's not too late. We crossed 100,000 subscribers this week. Let's get it to 200,000. Hit subscribe and hit the bell, by the way, if you want instant alerts when that NFL Fade the Public video goes live this weekend. Subscribe, thumbs up, and comment below, and have a great Saturday college football. Tune in for the NFL video. And don't forget, you can save 25% on every purchase this weekend on my page, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. But you got to have promo code STEVE25. Steve25. 3-0 sweep last Saturday in college football. Let's do it again this week. Steve25 gets it done. Best of luck. Tune in for Fade the Public this weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon right here on Wager Talk TV.